All right. As soon as I saw this fight get announced, or the possibility of this fight, I thought it was a practical joke. But look, I don't think Tyron Woodley should be fighting. Period. He's lost 4 fights. Um, he got dominated, and then he got finished in his last 2 fights. The only reason he had some urgency because he fought nobody, and he still got finished in the first round. So um, it's not a good idea for Tyron Woodley. The only thing that makes sense is that he gets a fat paycheck that he probably doesn't even need, and he's putting somebody else over. Jake Paul is still, in my eyes, not a legitimate boxer. I respect him enough just because he can win. He's won 3 fights in a row. But look, if this was, let's be honest now, this was Tyron Woodley of 2016, 17, when he won the title, was knocking everybody out, still killing people. I'd pick him to win against Jake Paul. I don't even think Jake Paul would fight this guy or even think about fighting him. But now that Woodley's kind of gone downhill and, he's not the same, obviously, um, I got Jake Paul. I don't like Jake Paul. I don't like his attitude. He's very cocky. Um, he says stuff that he shouldn't say, you know. He's saying stuff about Askren's wife and still beat Ben Askren, knowing that Ben Askren is not a legitimate striker, you know. Before that, he beat a basketball player and another amateur boxer or whoever. So, in my eyes, I'm not really impressed with Jake Paul. He's just worth a lot of money. He makes money. He's a YouTube sensation, obviously, and he's famous. So, that's going to help him. I personally think that this isn't even a fight as far as an actual fight. This is just a chance for Jake Paul to say, okay, there's another legitimate big name, Tyron Woodley. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay him a lot of money just to come in, talk some crap, and make my name bigger. I'm going to beat him, probably knock him out in the first, second round, and then we'll go from there. That's my opinion. Tyron Woodley reminds me of Frank Mir. Speaking of Frank Mir, he also had a boxing match, and I picked him to beat Cunningham. Let's not talk about that. But I will say, he's another example of somebody who's past their prime, somebody who's done, and somebody who has no business fighting anymore. That's just my opinion. Like I said, if this was Woodley in his prime, nobody would even mess with this guy. But he's done. So, unless Woodley walks into the ring with a hat on his head, and Jake Paul snatches and says, "I got your hat," and that makes Woodley mad and come after him harder, then he ain't beating him. Sorry.